What's up everybody, this is Patrick from WP Builder Helper, and in today's video I wanted to talk about Page Builder's unique features. I wanted to take a deep dive because I always see people comparing and contrasting the difference between is Elementor better, is Divi better, is this better. You know, they always want to know the differences between them. So in today's video, I decided to do a challenge. I wanted to take, and I thought about it for a while, and I'm like, no one I've ever seen has ever done this. I'm going to take and I'm going to put this together, this spreadsheet. I'm going to let you access it. I'm going to give you the link at the bottom of the description of this video. I'm sorry, normally I would also have my camera on, but as it turns out, I'm doing some construction in this room. I'm not sure if you saw the last video, but I had a blue table in the background. I've been building a desk and putting that together, but that's neither here nor there, and you're not worried about that. You're here for Page Builder features. So the point of this video was to take and go and do a deep dive into Page Builder features. What does Divi have that's different than Elementor? What does Elementor have that's different from Brizy? What does Brizy have that's different from Oxygen? What does Oxygen have that's different from LiveCanvas? I took these kind of 5 builders, and it's because it's the 5 builders I have access to. They're not any specific reason that I took these builders. I don't have Thrive Themes or Beaver Builder, so I couldn't test them to tell the difference. But I wanted to take a look at them all and really kind of think about them. And I'm going to update this list too. So as people watch this video and probably say, hey, you missed this feature, you want to include it, I'll update this so you'll always have the new features. And as this goes on and page builders continue to take and have new additional features, I'll take and I'll add to this list. And I'll try and keep it organized and everything like that. You'll only be able to view it, but you can copy it if you want the data or if you're just interested in it. As you can see, I've got the feature name, I've got the page builder name, I've got the uniqueness of the actual feature, which is just basically saying is it unique or not, and then the rating. And from there, we'll go and we'll figure out the rest. So from there, we'll go and we'll try and, dive into these. The rating is really subjective to me, so you can kind of leave that part out if you want. So is uniqueness in some ways, because they're all going to have something that's unique or not, but I wanted to mention it. So let's start off with the core common things that each of these themes have. And I have different pages up, and I wanted to take a look at all of them. The first one I have up is actually a Brizzy page. And I think one of the things that's becoming common with most page builder is headers and footers. Headers and footer builders are in almost all of these. As a matter of fact, they're in Divi, they're definitely in Elementor, Divi's added them, LiveCanvas has them, and Oxygen has them. So every single one of these have headers and footers. So let's include that. Headers and footers. And we'll say all uniqueness, basically like a 0. We'll give it a rating of, we'll give it a rating of 5 because it's a theme builder. But essentially they all have the same thing because I think it's unique. Gutenberg doesn't have it yet. So if I were to include Gutenberg in this, it doesn't have full theme function capability. Another thing we can kind of deep dive into that I'm thinking of right now is Woocommerce Capability. So if I'm thinking about the way that this works, Brizy has definitely got some WooCommerce functionality built in. Elementor's got some WooCommerce functionality built in. I believe their WooCommerce is a little bit better because they've got some different things that you can plug into it. So theirs is, it's interesting. It's a little bit better. They've got some better WooCommerce elements, as I remember, just going back off of memory. So I'm not going to go through each and every element, because if I go through each and every element, we're literally going to be here forever. The point was to kind of do a deep dive, and then afterwards what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over every single page builder that's on this list, and I'm going to point out each and every feature that I think is the most interesting feature of all these page builders. All of them. Each one that I think is unique. And they all have one unique feature that I think is really cool. So if we're taking and we're looking at this and we're trying to figure it out, I mean, they all have WooCommerce to some degree. LiveCanvas really doesn't. LiveCanvas doesn't have a WooCommerce builder. Oxygen has a full WooCommerce builder. Divi's got some WooCommerce functionality, but it's not as good as Oxygen. It's definitely not as good as Elementor. So if I had to take and I had to go in here, I would say that Elementor and Oxygen have the top WooCommerce. It's not unique. There's nothing unique. So let's just say, is it unique? No, it's not unique. We'll just say that this is a yes or no. And I would give their rating a 5. And if I had to give Brizzy definitely, Brizzy and Divi are probably more around like a 3, because you can get full, you can edit full entire pages with both Oxygen and WooCommerce and Elementor. You can go in and you can literally just go to each of these pages and edit them whenever you're messing with Oxygen. Like if you have any kind of WooCommerce thing that you're adding to it, like if you're just adding a store, you can go in and you can literally drop WooCommerce elements on a page. And I think that that's really cool. And you can do the same thing with Elementor if I'm not mistaken. There's definitely things you can do. So like if you go in here, I don't have the WooCommerce active, but it'll actually add it down here. It'll say WooCommerce elements, and you can go in here and you can drop it. So I think that that's pretty cool. Brizzy is getting there. It's as a matter of fact, I think one of their newer updates that's coming out soon is going to have it. So Brizzy's definitely going to have it. It's going to get up to a 5. I don't know what's going on with Divi. I think Divi at some point, they worked in some WooCommerce features, but it's still not as customizable as Elementor as Oxygen. So to me, and Brizzy may even be more of a 4 rather than a 3. I think it's more of a 3 to me. Remember, that rating's subjective, so please do not take that as a standard. This is just me thinking aloud. Another feature that we're starting to notice is pop-ups. So funny thing enough is LiveCanvas has pop-ups, if I'm not mistaken. If we go to LiveCanvas, see, it has a modal window. Brizzy has pop-ups by inserting it into links. So if you click on a link and then you go to, let me find a link, and there is a way, and I've been playing with all these builders, so you have to forgive me, but there's a way that you can go in and set it. I guess because this is a menu item. Oh, because it's a menu item, it won't let me set it as a pop-up. So typically you have to go into this section, and then you can set it as a pop-up, and you go into here. And they've also got full site pop-ups, which is really cool, which means you don't even have to click on anything. It'll just pop up and do it. So Brizzy's got full pop-ups. LiveCanvas has got full pop-ups. Elementor definitely has pop-ups. You can take and you can go in the back end, and Elementor's got some pop-up functionality. Divi's got pop-up functionality, but it's got it from a, let's choose a layout just so y'all can look at something. It's got it from a plugin that I don't really care for. Divi's got this, you know, this plugin that it's been using for a while, and you know, I guess it's, oh, it won't let me because it's, I haven't put my stuff on it. Sorry. So you'll just have to look at this ugly page for now because I'm not actually doing that. But Divi's got pop-ups, but it's through another thing. Divi is definitely, pop-up wise, they're definitely the weakest link of the pop-ups, because even Oxygen's got modal windows. And so does every single one of these? Yeah, every single one of these have it. And see, in this case, I really think that if I were to judge these, I don't know a lot about LiveCanvas's pop-up builder. I don't know what, you know, I don't know what makes LiveCanvas. I don't know how well their pop-up builder works. But just for feature's sake, I think that we can say that basically they all have some kind of pop-ups. There's nothing unique about it, and I would give it a rating of 5 in terms of its usefulness, because once again, I think pop-ups and stuff like that is totally useful. So let's keep going down the list of features. So what's something Elementor has got? Elementor, their newest Elementor 3.0, which is about to launch very, very soon, is going to have some unique functionality, which is already kind of built in, but it's going to have something similar to Brizzy, which Brizzy already has, which is this panel right here. Although Brizzy doesn't let you customize it, but it's like a theme panel. So basically what you can do is if you had a website and you wanted to go in and change the color, you can literally just select this, and in the future Brizzy will allow you to customize this, but it's like a theme setup. And Oxygen also has that same thing. If we go into settings and you've got global styles, you've got color here, font, heading, and Oxygen even goes a little bit deeper. Oxygen's got some animate on scroll, it's got width and breakpoints, it's got links. I mean, it literally lets you go in and customize everything. So you can build like almost like a basic level Oxygen site, or a basic level set of design sets. Like say you like a certain width, maybe you like 75 pixels top and bottom. You can set that in Oxygen as almost like a default for every single site, and then you can go in and you can change the colors, and as you can see in Atomic, you can set as many colors as you want. I think that this is really cool, and the way they do it is really cool. They have these IDs. I don't think Brizzy's got anything like that, and Elementor has got something similar. They've got default colors, but this is going to be getting expanded in Elementor 3.0. LiveCanvas, to my knowledge, doesn't have anything like that. Yeah, there's nothing in here that lets you customize the LiveCanvas experience because everything is done through CSS, which is fine. I mean, that's part of the charm of LiveCanvas, but now that people are starting to see, it's like I've said before, one of the whole things of this feature, and one of the reasons why I'm sitting down and doing this with you today, is to point out those things that maybe are in other places, but they're not in this. I don't even know if Divi's got it now that I think about it. They've got to have it. They've got to have some basic functionality built in, because Divi allows you to customize almost everything imaginable under the sun. But to be quite honest with you, I think it does. I've seen it before. I don't know where it's at. But they definitely have something that allows you to go in and customize it. Oh, preset from current style. Create a preset. No. Assign to default. I think that's it. If I'm not mistaken, that's it. You can set up these presets, and the presets go a step farther with Divi. They actually allow you to customize modules. So let's say you're working with a module and you have a bunch of settings that you go in with backgrounds and things like that, and visibility and transitions. You can just set that and you can be done. So they all have that in some ways. So I guess if we were to take and give them, so let's say theme options, I guess you would call this, or theme customization. Let's call it that. So they all have it. None of it's unique, and I think it's a 5. I think it's needed. Well, I'll lie. They don't all have it. So Elementor has this. Oxygen has this. Brizzy has this. And who am I missing? And Divi also has it. Divi has it. So the one who is missing, if I had to say something, would be LiveCanvas. LiveCanvas does not have this. It's not unique, and they have, there's no theme customization, which is unfortunate. So actually, that should be a 0 because there is no rating. You don't have it. It's missing. So LiveCanvas doesn't have that. So that that's a place where it's like it sucks that they don't have theme customizing. But I'm sure maybe in the future we'll see that coming. So then we think, what other things do we have? So we have animations. And I know for certain Elementor has animations. I know for certain Oxygen has animations. I know Brizzy has animations. I know Divi has animations. As a matter of fact, if I am not mistaken, LiveCanvas also has some animations. Because you can go in and you can set something. I mean, obviously LiveCanvas has got some things, but you can set something there is a way that you can go in and you can customize. Let me add another section just to play with it. One column, and we'll say there's something in here. I know for certain there is a way to add some animations to this because I've seen it. You can go in and you can add animations to it. It's got the ability to do it because it talks about it on the actual website. I just don't remember exactly where it's at, so I'm not going to fault them for that. That's my fault for not knowing better. But you can add, there's definitely some animations that you can go into and you can kind of add in. Oh, here it is, animation type, so you can have some fade, fade up, fade down. So there we go. They've got animations too. So that's pretty cool. So animations, everybody's got that, even LiveCanvas. So see, once again, the point of this is it unique? No. Is it a 5? I think it is. I think you need to have live animation. I think you need to have animations. Animations are pretty important because people are making things nowadays and they're adding animations to pages, and I just think it's something that you need to have. You have to have animations because people want them. I would say that I think that I think Elementor's animations are much better than most because I think their animations allow all kinds of crazy stuff. Like you can really do some crazy stuff with their animations. Like it's really crazy. It's got some, see, scroll effects. So you've got vertical scroll, horizontal scroll, transparency, blur, rotate, scale. You can't do that yet with Brizzy. Their animations are kind of limited. You could do it with CSS. You could do it with CSS with any kind of builder. But the whole point is some of these builders make it much easier. Elementor definitely makes it easy. And I know Divi is also another builder where if you want animations and you just add something, you know, crazy like you add in this, you can go in here and you can, every single one of these, it's in the transition. You can change positions of it. You can do so much with this stuff. Their animations, they have a lot of stuff that you can do. Ease in, ease out. I mean, just different types of animations that you can do with these builders. So, you know, they all have it. So that's pretty standard now. Trying to think of what else they have that's interesting. They all support mobile, but I wouldn't even consider that a feature because you kind of have to support mobile. They all at some point have some way of reordering blocks, I would say. I think Elementor, I don't remember if Elementor, oh yes, Elementor copied, they copied Oxygen. So they all have a like I guess you would call it a DOM tree, essentially. I know that Oxygen has it. I know Brizzy has it. I don't know if Divi has it. I think Divi has some weird thing where in order to go and look at your tree or see, yeah, you gotta kind of go in this and then you can kind of change things. Like if I added a new block or something, like a new section, see, you can go in here and then you can flip it. And you can even do it in the other way. You don't have to go, you don't have to choose this method. You can kind of do it like this. But I find it a little finicky, I guess. It's I don't know. It's never been my favorite. I really like the tree method a lot better in Elementor or Oxygen, which I think Oxygen, if we're just being honest, had it first. They were the ones to me that had the first beginning stages of this kind of DOM tree setup where you could go in and you could literally look at the structure of your content, you know, click expand all, and you could see everything that's been built with this. And I thought that was really cool, and also thought that was really important. I'm not sure why it's not expanded, but generally you would see this is a heading, this is a button, this is this is that. So it's just one of those things. So I think they all pretty much have it. I don't know. Does LiveCanvas allow you to move sections? I think it does, but yeah, it's got this mover it's a move down or up feature, which is a little bit finicky. So to me, if I'm giving them points, is it unique? No. Is it important? Yes. I think LiveCanvas and I think Divi are the weaker of the two. I think I would have to give them like a 3 because I think the way these three builders do it is just much better. It's just a much better method for taking and moving things around on the builders. So here's another thing. Mega menus. Do we have mega menus? And I would be wrong if I said that Elementor doesn't, but I don't think it does. I don't think Elementor has mega menus. Let me search real quick, because I don't remember Elementor mega menu. See, I see plugins coming up. Yeah. Creating a mega menu. I see yeah, see, they don't have mega menu. So Elementor's got about a bunch of plugins that are kind of like basically add functionality. Brizzy's just added this built-in where you can literally click something and you can go in here and you can say a mega menu, and as you can see right here, they've added it to it. Oxygen also has mega menus, although their mega menus work a little bit differently because you're not doing stuff with headers and footers. You're going in there and you can literally, with Oxygen, you can almost design anything. This I know does not have mega menus yet. It's very limited, so let's put that down. So mega menu. So Brizzy and Oxygen have mega menus built in, which is pretty cool. And it's not, you know what, this uniqueness tab, this is so pointless. Well, it won't be pointless towards the end. I think mega menus are cool. I think I'd like to see it more built into some of the other builders. I know LiveCanvas doesn't have it. Does Divi have mega menus? I can't remember. Does Divi have mega menus? I can't remember if Divi has mega menus. I don't think it does. See, Divi Mega allows you to create mega menus, so it doesn't have it either. Granted, I will say, because Divi has fixed positioning and stuff like that, you can create mega menus with Divi. It's not, they have a plugin that does it, but you can create mega menus. So you can. There's ways you can do it, but there's a lot of other plugins that do it. And to me, that's something that I'm not a big fan of. I don't like, oh, you see, wait, Divi includes built-in mega menu. Okay, so you can do a mega menu with Divi. I thought you could. I couldn't remember if you could, but there's also plugins that do it. Maybe they do it better with Divi? Why would you have a plugin if Divi already has mega menus? That seems rather weird. There must be some limitation to this that's maybe not as easy. So Divi does have mega menus. So if we go on there, we're going to have to add Divi to this list because obviously they do have it. Elementor doesn't have it, although Elementor, once again, you could add mega menus to it. In LiveCanvas, you can do it, but you'd have to do it with CSS. And Elementor's got some things where you could do some absolute positioning and add mega menus, but we're looking at just having a function of mega menus. So in this case, both of those don't have it, so we give them a 0 because you can do it with CSS. Editing CSS. This is one thing. Almost every single one of these. Let's just say editing CSS. They pretty much all have this. They can all edit CSS, which is very important. I definitely think the way LiveCanvas does it, I would say, is a little bit better because they've got the ability. You can literally, with a page, you can go in and you can look at the actual code of a page and edit it, which is just, it's really cool. It's one of the coolest things. I mean, I guess even Oxygen has it. But if we go here and we look at this, they've got, options here, and you can literally look at the HTML and you could go in here, and if I wanted to change something, I could change this to, you know, edit a page. So that's neat. That's something unique, and you've even got some CSS here. So if you wanted to add some CSS to this, you could add some custom CSS. And this is one thing that's baked in that I screwed up when I first did my first review of LiveCanvas, but it's an important thing. Oxygen also has the ability to do this. You can go into certain pages. So let's get out of this. Let's get out of structure, and let's go back to the admin section, and let's go to edit with Oxygen. It should allow me to edit this. I'm not sure why it wasn't allowing me to click on it. Probably something I was doing wrong. Or no, it's just a generic, I guess it's a blank page. But if you go in here and you drop like some text, I keep thinking you can drag, but you can't. You can go in here into advanced, and you can edit CSS, and you can change the total CSS of this if you want to. You can go in and add CSS styles. If you want to make gradient text, you can make gradient text, although Oxygen already allows you to do that without CSS, which I think is cool. And it's even got some JavaScript, and if I'm not mistaken, I think there's some places that you can play with like PHP and stuff like that. Like you can go in certain elements, like I think the helper elements. If we were to go into certain things, you can actually mess like with the easy post. You can mess with the actual styles of these, which includes some crazy stuff. Like you can go in and you can play with literally the custom CSS of it. I mean, it's just really cool, and they've all got this ability. Brizzy has it too. So if you want to mess with something, I think you go into the advanced options, similar. Yeah, and here's your custom CSS. You can add values to it, a CSS class and ID. So they've all got the ability to do it. You know, it's something that's pretty common. And once again, the point of pointing all of this out is because you're trying to see what are the features that are unique. So far, all we've mentioned are things that aren't unique. They're all things that they basically have. They're all things that they're basically doing, and they're not unique to any of them. So now we start looking into what's unique. And I'm not going to share everything that's unique, but I want to go over the things that are the most important to me and what I feel like are the most important parts of each builder. There are certain parts of each builder that I'm going to come out and I'm going to add to this list that are not unique, but that are unique, but I'm not going to go over them as deeply. So if we go into what makes Brizzy unique, one of the things I think you would need to talk about is the fact that Brizzy added on this service called Brizzy Cloud. And essentially what Brizzy Cloud is it is a service where you can take and sync your pages to the cloud. And so regardless of how you build your site, you can have your pages stored in the backend. So let's say we come to a page. Let's say I want this page to look completely different. I'm going to clear the layout completely. So we're going to wipe it. We're going to start fresh. And we're going to go in here, and we're going to go to saved. And here is my cloud account, and it's already synced. And you can already see, you know, some elements that I've saved, but they've also got layouts here. And I just can't understate how important this is. Somebody had pointed out that if you had a virus on your site, you could literally wipe your site out, and as long as it was stored in Brizzy Cloud, you could bring it back with the click of a mouse button. Those are the type of things that are just really, really unique when it comes to Brizzy Cloud. It's just a really, really unique feature that you come in here, you sync it to the cloud, and boom, you've got this new, you know, this tile here that's saved for you. And then you go in your colors, and if you know your colors are all set up, you can go in here and you can change the colors of something. Which it just makes it so easy. It's so easy. It's beautiful. So if we're going into it, I have to say the cloud backup for Brizzy, cloud backup is one of the most unique features, and it's one of the features that Brizzy definitely has that stands out, and I give it a 5. It's awesome. Brizzy Cloud's cloud backup is just amazing, and it's only going to get better with time, and it's not even to its full potential yet. And I think that if you give it longer, it's just going to be so cool. It's something that I think all the builders really need, but I don't know how they would do it. Brizzy has done it amazingly because you just basically sync between these two. And some things that are in the cloud, you can kind of look at them. Like, let's say you wanted to work on a site in development. You could literally use it as staging and set up the website and then import it into WordPress and just have your WordPress site ready to go. I mean, it's just so cool. There's so many uses, and the potential for it is really just really huge. Another thing that I'm going to mention, although I'm not going to deep dive into, is Brizzy has got a unique image editor. The image editing for Brizzy is just so cool that you can kind of move this however you want to. I think Divi has something similar in terms of image editing, but I'm going to give Brizzy, in terms of image editing with moving things around, their image editor for Brizzy is very unique, and I also think it's a 5. I think it's really cool. I think their image editor, the way that you can kind of go in here and kind of pick where you want something to be, if you pick a corner or whatever, you can go in there and you can literally pick which corner you want or whatever. I think that's just really cool. It's something that you don't find in every single builder. So it's something that I just think's unique. So now that we've dived into that, let's dive into Elementor. Elementor has a lot of things that make it unique. And it's really hard to choose just one, but if I had to give it one, and I went and I did 2 with Brizzy because I thought those were the unique. Elementor has got this finder. I gotta say, Elementor's finder is damn amazing. So what the finder does is it basically allows you to sit in Elementor and not move out of it. That means you don't have to go to the WordPress backend. So if I was looking for, say, something like an about page, I can see there's no results found, right? But if I just click page, or if I just type in page, you can see here I can add in a new page, a new post, a new template. I can go to the home page. I can go to my saves. Anything that you click in here, the finder basically goes in and finds. And with it, you can do some amazing stuff. So to me, I am giving the finder on Elementor, I think it's worth a 5. It's very unique. No other builder has it. They deserve credit for this because this thing is really freaking amazing. You stay in Elementor, you don't have to mess with it at all. I just think it's really cool. And it's just something that's just so unique to Elementor that I just can't, I can't deep dive into it. I just think it's really neat for me. I think it's a good piece of tech. I like it. Divi. If we have to go into features with Divi's feature, and you're gonna say it's not unique, but it is unique. Divi was one of the first builders to allow you to literally go in and customize everything about the builder. So this one's gonna sound a bit weird, but it's the truth. You can go from wireframe to this. Divi has got so many different options of things that you can remove. If you don't want something in there, you can remove it from the toolbar. You can go to desktop view, tablet view. Divi allows you so many customization options for not just the builder, but inside of the builder itself, that every single piece of anything, header, footer, images, they all have border controls, they all have animations, they all have, this control, that control. I mean, just across the board, it's got everything. There's so many options in Divi that it's almost ridiculous, because you get to the point where when you click on something inside of Divi and you go to add it and you add a new row and you go to add an option, you can see here there's a search bar on everything. There's a reason for that, because there are so many freaking options in here that you've got filters for search bars. That's nuts. That is crazy. Divi has got the settings down pat. So for me, if I'm going to talk about options, I think Divi wins in that regard. Divi has just got, I don't think it's unique, but I think that their settings feature is just amazing. they've got so many settings that it's just unbelievable to me. The options in the builder, and let's do this. Let's say the builder slash the widgets. Let's call them widgets. The builder and the widgets is just amazing. I don't even think Elementor, who is like the champion king, has as many options as Divi. Divi just has everything. If there's something that Divi doesn't have, like a something that you need something on, it's in there. And Elementor is getting there, but there's certain limitations to things that you just don't have. Like basically everything in Divi, I believe, can have animations, have gradients, have just anything that you can think of that's just absolutely insane. Dive into Oxygen. Oxygen has some unique features too, but a lot of what we've seen on this list you can already see has already been copied or taken. Like, I definitely think Oxygen had one of the first DOM trees, although Brizzy kind of had a DOM tree too that I thought was kind of unique, although Oxygen's is a little bit more traditional. Oxygen's had some pop-ups. They've always had theme customizations. But I really think where Oxygen, if I'm being honest, and I don't have it installed, so I think where Oxygen's strength lies, and some people are not gonna, they're just not gonna agree with me for this, but I think it's in their WooCommerce builder, and it's also in, well, damn, Oxygen's just got a lot that it's got going for it. God, I mean, it's hard to choose one thing. If I had to choose something, though, you know what? I'm going to give Oxygen, I'm going to give it two features too. This is really not a fair scenario, but I'm going to give it two features. Speed. In terms of the fastest page builder, there is no way, although LiveCanvas comes close. LiveCanvas is probably very, very fast also, because there's almost nothing that gets, I mean, it's just basically pure HTML and CSS, but Oxygen has the speed feature down. That is one, it really is one of the faster page builders on the market. And I don't think it's unique, but I still think it's a 5 for me, because it's just the raw output of the page builder is just really, really amazing. And I think their speed's good. And if I had to give them another thing that I think that they do well, I also think we've kind of talked about WooCommerce, but one thing we haven't talked about is Gutenberg. Gutenberg's important, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know right now, today, Gutenberg is the next wave of what is going to come out of WordPress. And whether you like it or not, some of these things play with Gutenberg and some of them don't. So for me, Elementor plays with Gutenberg well. Oxygen plays with Gutenberg well. As a matter of fact, I think Oxygen does Gutenberg better than Elementor does Gutenberg. Their ability to go in and actually use like a client mode where a client can edit Gutenberg blocks is even better. Although sometimes it's finicky. It does need some help. There were some people who said that Oxygen, you know, it's not there with Gutenberg just yet. But it is cool because a client can literally go in and change text and change this and add some things to it, and it doesn't mess up your whole entire layout. And I think that that's really, really cool. So for me, I'm going to say that, you know, Gutenberg is definitely a unique feature. Brizzy handles dynamic stuff, but it doesn't handle it as well. You can't use Gutenberg content in your website. And LiveCanvas is similar. I think it has maybe a Gutenberg. It has some Gutenberg, some features, I think that I would say. Like there's some things that you can go in here and you can add some elements to here, like some WordPress integration, like Git Post and stuff like that. But I think that Gutenberg is an important thing. I'm not sure how well Divi handles Gutenberg, to be quite honest with you. I don't ever remember seeing a Gutenberg. I don't ever remember seeing a Gutenberg type. Divi has dynamic content. it's definitely there. You can go in and dynamically add text right here. See, but it's more or less that you're just literally adding it page by page by page, which is kind of annoying. I mean, it's kind of cool that you can go in and you can do it, but I don't think it plays with Gutenberg as well as those two. I'm giving it to Oxygen and I'm giving it to Elementor. I think that they have the Gutenberg, and I do think it's unique because very few people play with Gutenberg nice, and I'm giving it a 5. And I think Oxygen, if I had to... Oxygen, they're both 5s, but I think Oxygen does it a little bit better than Elementor. Elementor is getting there, but it's not there yet. But that's going to be very important because Gutenberg is the next wave of big things to come from WordPress. And if you're not familiar with it, even if you don't like it, it's going to be the builder for WordPress by default. So eventually one day we are going to have Gutenberg, and Oxygen and Elementor are kind of already ahead of the curve. I'm sure Brizzy and some of the other ones are going to be coming up, but they just haven't gotten there yet. LiveCanvas has got some unique features too. So we kind of talked about LiveCanvas, and LiveCanvas is maybe a builder you've never heard of, or maybe it's just brand new to you because it's not something that a lot of people know about. But LiveCanvas allows you to do some crazy stuff with Bootstrap. And if you're not familiar with Bootstrap, then I would suggest you take and go spend some time learning about it. But it's basically like a framework, essentially, and it's this really good framework. And LiveCanvas has got the unique ability of going to a page. If you go to a page, like say I have a page open here, and I want to copy this element, you can literally go in Chrome, and if you know what you're looking at, like as you can see I'm hovering over these, I can go in and I can click these, and then I can click to copy an element. And if I go in LiveCanvas and I say that I want to, let's say I want to open up a sections tab, I can create a new section in here, and I can say here's a section, let's call it, website copy, and you can copy the CSS, click publish, and now that I'm seeing, I see Gutenberg blocks in here too. I'm gonna have to do some more research. I'm sorry, LiveCanvas, you may very well play with Gutenberg better than I know, so I will go back in and edit that if that's the case. I'm very, very sorry. So please correct me if I'm missing something. Somebody's like, hey, I use LiveCanvas and it can do this and that. Go in and correct me, let me know, because once again, I try to use all these builders, but I don't always know. But if you go into your HTML sections, you can click this website copy, bam! That's cool. That's neat, that you can go to a page and literally grab a section of the page and copy it. That is unique. I've never seen anything like that. And if they had other websites that could do that, it would make developing so much faster. I literally, did you just see what I did? I went to this page, which is a Bootstrap page to be fair, and I copied it. So if I go to features, let's try it again just so I can show you. It may not work because I think this is just a demo. It is just a demo. But let me see. Let's go back. Let me see if I can find some more examples. So let's go in. I was looking for a, just a page that looked pretty. Just something I could basically copy. So if I go here and I go inspect, I can look through this body class and I can literally find something that I like. So maybe I just like this. And we can click copy the element. And we go back in LiveCanvas and we'll go to open up sections. And we'll go to full website copy. And we will copy that into this section. Click publish. We'll go back into the pages. We'll go back into home, edit with LiveCanvas, and we're going to add a new section, HTML section, full website copy, and look at that. I've just copied this, and it's not, it doesn't have this obviously because that's a different, a different part of it, or I just missed it, or whatever the case is. But how cool is that? If more websites had the ability to go in and copy this kind of crap, Oh, it would just make him building websites so easy. So I'm giving LiveCanvas website copy. Even though it's got to be a bootstrap, I still think the usefulness of that is just a 5, just hands down. Hands down, I think it's a 5. It's so unique. It's so cool that you can go in and just copy stuff like that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's airing on a little bit too long, but the whole point was to go into a deep dive of this, and I'm sure it's not all. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to add to this, and I'm going to add features as I find them. And as I find them, I'm going to add it to this, and I'm going to share the link down below if you want a copy of it, or if you want to make comments. I don't remember if I added comments, but I'll allow people to make comments on it so that they can, they can tell me, hey, you're wrong here. You're missing the fact that this editor can do this. I'm sure it's not 100% because I don't know every editor like the back of my hand. The point was to take you on a walk through the editors, give you a basic overview. So if you're someone new who's just getting started in web development, or you're just getting started in websites, and you're saying, hey, what's the difference between all these different page builders? You can come to this. You can say, okay, I want mega menus, and Brizy and Oxygen, they have the mega menus I want, but Elementor and LiveCanvas don't really have it yet. Okay, well, that makes a difference to you, doesn't it? Because if you don't want to buy another plugin, then it would be good to have the mega menu built in, but then you have to weigh your options. What's the difference between all these? You can see a lot of them have animations, they have theme customization, they have pop-ups, they have headers and footers, they have editing CSS. They have all of that. So there's little mini differences between them. They're actually bigger differences than you would think. But really, it's the overall feel of the editor. And I didn't want to get into that part of it because each editor has a different way. Some people think Oxygen's clunky. Some people think Brizy has the best UI. Some people think, Divi has too many options. There's all many mixed feelings, but that was all opinion. And I didn't want to get into opinion. I wanted to get into facts. So hopefully this helps you. Hopefully if you're thinking about one of these editors and you were like, oh, didn't know the editor could do that. Now you do. And if you're brand new to WP Builder Helper, please click that like button below, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.